Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's been a while since I gave you an update as to how the prop houses is doing here at Heddon. It's March. It's Mother and Son Day today. I've just come back from a superb Northern Group conference over at Crooklands. Great catching up with everybody, seeing faces we haven't seen for a couple of years. Just the general banter, the camaraderie, and some really good talks from Mark Pattenden and Carl Hamlet. Both giving their first talks, and of course Ian Sullivan. Thoroughly enjoyed it, but then it's back to work. So I drove across this morning, just getting sorted out in readiness for start of our main dispatch period of mini plants. Sent a few out last week, but we'll be sending out dahlias and chrysanthemums still now, but right up until early June when we do garden ready ones. But we've got about 9 weeks of dahlia mini plant dispatch in front of us. Here we are on one of the prop houses. You'll have probably seen in this before. A few trial varieties coming on. You'll see they're all at various stages. Been trying to keep on top of taking cuttings. Some varieties were set away a little bit later than others, so hence they haven't got the growth on. But just for interest as well here, this is grown in, these particular ones here are grown in peat-free compost. They're grown in Sylvagrow, peat-free. From Melcourt Industries, been trialling it. They were only set away about 2.5 weeks ago. I'm on a heated bench, coming away really strongly, and you might be able to see roots starting to come through the bottom there already. Good compost. Does have a problem, if anything, just it can dry out very quickly. So yes, some of the growth on these tubers is getting a little bit tall. The weather's been so warm, so hot in the greenhouses here. It's actually a job actually keeping up taking cuttings, but some will just get cut back, discarded, and we'll wait for another flush of smaller cuttings to come away. Now here we are on the other side of that fleece, so it's the same 60-foot long wooden greenhouse built in '63. The cuttings in front of us here were taken about 12-14 days ago. Most of them are nicely rooted now. Need to get them off the benches tomorrow. Could have probably done with getting them off the benches at the back end of last week, but time has been a bit of a problem. So they're growing away a little bit too quickly in some cases. There's always the odd ones like the Wynnum Dianes, which despite everything around them being well rooted, the Wynnum Dianes are struggling. They'll get there, but they just take a little bit longer, as it seems. Normally our rooting mix is Clover Professional Pot Bedding, which we'll add about 10% perlite to that, give it a good mix. Trying to take cuttings on a much smaller to start off with, but as much as we try, sometimes the cuttings are probably a little bit bigger than what we'd like. But we've got to take the numbers, which is the most important thing, so we can keep up and have the right quantities for the orders. At this end here though, some of these varieties, there's about 15 trays here that we actually rooted in Sylvagrow, peat-free compost again. So again, these were taken about 12 days ago now. This variety that I'm just about to pull out now is Rosemary's Blush. The new one, just give it a squeeze on the bottom so don't cause too much damage on it there. Give it a little bit of a tug, and look at that root development on there. Okay. This is Cheval Megan, and again in the same compost, peat free, really ready for moving on, and a lovely little compact plant. If only we could keep getting everything out as quick as we could sometimes root it, but sometimes that's a problem. But there we are, there's a few thousand here. Our main production, remember, is at our Ovington nursery, so although it looks like there's a lot here, our Ovington nursery has probably, if I remember rightly, it probably has about 80 metres, probably 90 metres of length of benching with stock on, and we've got another probably 60 metres of benching that I think we actually do all the rooting on, just off the top of my head. Heating underneath, temperatures in the greenhouses around about, set at about 16 degrees up in the old wooden vents when we need to. Shading up, as you can see. And this greenhouse here particularly, the dahlias just love it in here. I think just the old wooden greenhouses with the sort of natural ventilation over the glass overlaps, just the atmosphere in here is just so humid. They just really love it. So when the dahlias are all rooted, and when the chrysanthemums are rooted, they all get brought into this greenhouse here, which is 90 foot by about 40 foot. An aluminium greenhouse built, I think it was 1987, all benched out. We've got all the dahlias set out from oven. There's about 2 or 3 weeks worth of batches of orders on here. Cuttings would take about every 10 days through the season, from February right the way through to back end of April, even into May for some of our own stock and pot tubers. So we've got a lovely batch of cafe au lait there. Last year we had issues with this rooting very erratically, so we thought, right, we're going to have to make sure we take plenty cuttings of this one so that we'll have enough ready when we need it. And guess what? Every single cutting that we've taken has rooted on schedule, whereas last year it was only about 50%. So yeah, need to get some of these out. And then say we've got them right the way through. Nearly 300 varieties in here, all laid out. And then that's where a bit packing area, obviously empty at the minute, but we'll be working frantically on there tomorrow, getting as many orders out as we can this week. Our aim is to dispatch roughly 300 orders a week, hopefully up to 400 orders a week via post, and then we'll have orders to collect where people collect them at the nursery. And with a good few thousand orders on the system, you can imagine it takes us a few weeks to get there. But we always do. We always send out orders based on what facilities our customers have available, whether it's a heated greenhouse, whether it's just a cold greenhouse or a cold frame, and also what area of the country they're in. There's no point sending them, to our customers up north in March if they don't have a heated greenhouse. So, and then they're also done on sort of like rotation as well. So it's a balancing act right the way through the season to get everybody's orders out in a good and timely manner, based on what facilities they have available. So we get there. So please be patient, and we'll get you all sorted out over the next couple of months. Okay. Yeah. Good night. Happy growing.